Hola Seekers, this is Kim and bienvenidos to a Pick a Card. So in this reading, we are going to look into the current state of the feminine and masculine energies respectively, as well as look at the current energy of the relationship between these two. And this is to find out if there's anything that needs working on or if there are any blockages, what those blockages are, how we can remove them in order to bring these two energies into balance or into union per se. Now, the topic of this pick a card was inspired by my sister, but her intention for this reading was to look at the current state of the masculine and feminine energy of the self. Because yes, we all hold both masculine and feminine energies, and when these two are in perfect harmony, that is when we ourselves are in balance. Yet, I am aware that some of us are in a divine connection situation, and if that is the case and you are looking to see what the current state or energy of your divine connection with your divine feminine or masculine is, then I do feel this reading can serve to do just that. So you can look at this reading to find out what the current energy of your divine connection is, as well as the current energy of self, if that applies. If it doesn't, then you can simply use this reading to check up on the self. The self meaning you. Okay? Oh, and do please keep in mind that this is a timeless reading. Okay, but for this reading, I am going to use Oracle cards as well as El Tarot. I will also be pulling out some key terms as well as these hand-drawn chakra cards, which by the way were inspired by Caitlin's watercolor affirmations. Caitlin is a tarot reader who also does pick a card readings here on YouTube, and the name of her channel is Bits and Bob's Divination. So please do check her out. She is very creative with her readings, uses various forms of divination techniques to give you the most accurate messages. This isn't a collaboration, by the way. I don't even think Caitlin knows that I exist or knows who I am. I simply stumbled upon her channel one day and was inspired by her divination tools and techniques. So yeah, please do check her out. But okay, so we have 3 groups to choose from. The first group is the Squirrel, Necessity, Transformation, and Selenite combo. For group 2, we have the Shark, Resolve, Union, and Peacock or combo. And for group 3, we have the Snail, Patience, Blossom, and Black Tourmaline combo. So as always, please take as much time as necessary. Pause the video if you need to, and whatever combo here calls out to you, then that will be your group. And the timestamp for each group is provided in the comment section down below. Okay, so now that you've chosen your group, let's jump into your reading. Let's go. Hola Seekers who chose the Squirrel, Necessity, Transformation, and Selenite combo. Welcome to your reading, where we will be looking at the current state of the feminine and masculine energies respectively, as well as the current energy of the relationship between these two. And this is just to show us if there are currently any blockages, what those blockages are, how we can remove them to bring these two energies into balance or into union per se. Now, the topic of this pick a card was inspired by my sister, but her intention for this reading was to look at the current state of the feminine and masculine energies of the self, because we all hold both masculine and feminine energies, and when these two are in harmony, that is when we ourselves are in balance. But I am aware that some of us are in a divine connection situation, so if you are looking to see what the current state of your divine connection with either your divine masculine or divine feminine is, then I do feel this reading can be used for that purpose. So you can use this reading to check up on your divine connection as well as check up on the self, if that applies. Of course, if it doesn't, then you can simply use this reading to check up on the current energy of the self meaning you. Okay, now let's get into your reading. So firstly, I would like to describe the energy I felt when connecting with this group. And there were a lot of mixed emotions, excitement being the most prevalent one, mixed with a little nervousness here and there. There was also a moment in which I felt like crying, but the energy felt that of release. of breaking free. So I definitely feel that there is, like this card says, a huge transformation or a huge change or shift happening for you guys. It feels like you are about to reach a breakthrough. Now, I'm not sure what this breakthrough may be in terms to. It could be in terms to career, it could be in terms to a spiritual or healing journey, but it does feel like you're about to come out of something and enter into a whole new chapter or phase of your life. I also felt this need to really, and I just looked at the clock and it's 1:11, so that does talk about new beginnings, and I also associate 1:11 with the message of you are on the right path. So keep moving forward. And as I was saying, I do feel this need to release, to let go. And I feel that is pretty obvious because there is this energy of transformation, of entering into new beginnings, of breakthroughs and breaking away. So with all of that, of course, comes the letting go and the releasing of things that no longer serves us or was holding us back. But now I'm going to move into the cards, and these cards here are to show us a bit about the current energy of the relationship between the feminine and masculine. And we have transformation as well as squirrel, necessity. And I feel this is such a sweet and tender energy. The squirrel actually gives me that very excited, almost playful energy. I always say that squirrels use the entire world as their playground. I feel squirrels don't, of course they're creatures, but the energy they exude is of not caring about appearance, not caring about what others may think. It's just doing them, and enjoying their surroundings, enjoying life in general. And with this transformation energy, like I was saying, there is this feeling of liberation and freedom. And so I definitely feel that both the feminine and the masculine are coming into this phase of their journey in which they are allowing themselves to completely be their authentic selves, in which the feminine is allowing itself to be more free in their expression and who they are. And I just got this message, liberated by their identity. I'm not sure what that means, but it does feel like kind of using the world as their playground, using the world, their environment as their form of inspiration in order to create. And it's definitely an energy of not holding yourself back anymore. And with the acorn here, I'm seeing it as resources. And I find that the squirrels value their acorns. I'm thinking of like Ice Age. So it's like appreciating what you do have and working with what you do have and not limiting yourself by what you have at the current moment. Seeing the blessings that are already on your table and making something beautiful and grand out of those blessings. So there is no longer this mentality of I can't do this because I don't have enough of this or that, or I don't have enough resources. It's seeing what you do have and working with that. So for example, if you've wanted to start a YouTube channel, but you've been holding yourself from starting this YouTube channel because you keep using the excuse that you don't have the right materials or the right tools, for example, a very expensive camera or a tripod. Now you see that the reasons for not starting a YouTube channel are actually not reasons but excuses, because hey, I have a phone, I can record through my phone, and I can use a lamp as my lighting, or I can use the natural sunlight as my lighting. So you're not holding yourself back anymore. You're not using excuses anymore. It's like I already said, it's working with what you got and making something beautiful out of it. And that is allowing you to finally move forward because you're not limiting yourself anymore. With the transformation card, I feel like the transformation card is pretty self-explanatory. I feel like this is describing more of the masculine energy. as the feminine energy allows herself to be creative to create, the masculine allows himself to also be self-expressive, to not hold themselves back. Now they are able to create what they want to create. This transformation card not having a head, it's making me think of they're not overthinking it anymore. Whereas before the masculine could have overthought whether their ideas were good enough or whether other people would be happy with their ideas, whether it would bring revenue, financial revenue, or success. Now they are not really overthinking that. Now they are allowing themselves to simply create because they want to create it. Because I feel this overthinking kind of held them back a lot in their self-expression and also in their creative work. And creative doesn't necessarily have to be in terms of the arts. Creativity simply means being ingenuitive, allowing yourselves to be imaginative and to simply create. So you could work at a business company and come up with new ideas of how to work more efficiently, and that's you being creative. So the relationship I see here is kind of, there does seem like coming into union. I feel like the relationship is of coming into union because now both of the energies are allowing themselves to embody more of their playfulness, and in this they are allowing themselves to come more in contact with their authenticity. Because that's also what I feel with the butterfly here. But it does feel still like an unfoldment. It's like you guys, like I said, are breaking free in a way. And so little by little, you are allowing yourself to come into union. And with these flowers here, I'm also seeing them as blessings. And I feel like it will take a little bit more time for the masculine to fully see their blessings and to fully appreciate what is around them. Because maybe for the masculine, there is this tendency to want more, to seek more, because there's this feeling of never being enough. And it's not because they take what they have for granted. It's because I feel they have this mentality that they need to continue working hard and to keep improving. And so it's kind of very difficult when you are in that mentality to be content with where you are in life and with what you do have. Because there is this idea in the back of your mind or this subconscious belief that there's always more, that you could do better. But I feel like as the feminine allows herself to appreciate the little things, her surroundings, the masculine is able to finally open their eyes to this fact as well, and to allow themselves to be content and to enjoy their moment and to enjoy their successes without needing to measure how big or small they are, or compare them to others, or compare them to their previous achievements or accomplishments. See, I'm just feeling a lot of warmth in my heart space. So I feel a lot of joy and contentment, and I feel like coming into something, heading towards freedom. And oh my God, I'm just like, I feel so excited. Maybe some of you guys feel this excitement. Maybe it comes through a bit as of nervousness, because I feel like you are picking up on the change. Some big change is happening for you guys. You feel that things are about to shift. You feel like you're about to open your wings per se and take flight. Something's about to happen, and it feels like something grand, something beautiful, something very exciting. So I'm going to move into the rest of the card. Oh, let me read the back of this card. So we have Squirrel Necessity. When Squirrel appears in our lives, he encourages us to relish in necessity. In the comfort of his friends and family, he enjoys basic tenets of life. Surrounded by the essentials, Squirrel reminds us to review our provisions in preparation for inner expeditions. He demonstrates the supreme importance of fostering reserves in times of depletion and lightening the load when heavy-hearted. His presence teaches us to dispose of clutter to welcome joy into our lives. Yes, this is the energy of release I was feeling. You're about to release a whole lot in order to be lightweight, like the butterfly, to embark on your new adventure, to welcome the joy into your lives. And with this fostering reserves, I'm seeing this as getting ready, getting prepared for the new journey that you're about to embark in. It's something new. It's something you guys have not experienced as of yet, because whatever you're about to head into is truly in resonance with your soul, and it feels liberating. It feels like coming back home, actually, and I feel it strongly in my heart space. And I just want to point out, I feel like there is a focus right now on the sacral chakra, and that sacral chakra usually connects with the feminine energy. And this feminine energy is about receptivity, it's about nurturing, it's about creativity. And I feel like that is what both the masculine and feminine might be working on at this moment, is the sacral chakra. But we will look more into this as I pull out the rest of the cards. So right now we will look into the feminine energy, and we have, yes, 16, the blasted oak, which is the tower. Please do not be frightened by this card. This is actually one of my favorite cards. And then we have 4 of cups, number 17, the fish, and then we have the dreamer. Okay, so I actually love the tower card in this deck because this is talking about a breaking free, breaking away from anything and everything that has been holding you back. As you can see, the lightning strikes, and I see this lightning as divine intervention, breaking away the tree that this man was tied on or in. And you can see how the ropes, they're being set on fire, and it's only the ropes that are being set on fire. This man is not being hurt. So this is universe coming in to finally remove the chains and break you away from situations, relationships, habits, cycles that were detrimental, that were keeping you stuck. And so I see this as a liberation. Now, the Tower card can be scary, only how we perceive it. Because when big change happens, it can be a little daunting, right? It shakes up our foundations. It shakes up our world because it removes us from our comfort zone and from our routines, what we have known for so long. And that can be very uncomfortable and scary at times. And so when this tower moment happens, we can either be super frightened by it and stay in that fear and make this whole experience a scary one, or we can embrace this change and see it for what it is and allow ourselves to go with the change and let it carry us into our new beginning. Because see how we have 2 crevices here? One looks like the abyss, and then the other one we see the river. I'm seeing this as going with the flow, or allowing yourself to be carried away by negative thoughts, by a dark perception. And it is our way of perceiving something that either liberates us or has us falling into the abyss. And so the change itself is not a bad one. What is happening in your life, if you feel like this tower moment or tower moments are already happening in your life, they're not bad. They are uncomfortable, yes, but they are not evil. They serve a purpose, and they serve a higher purpose. So see what are the changes that are happening in your life right now, and allow yourself to kind of sit with it and really go within and ask yourself the questions. Whatever is falling away, be it a relationship, be it a situation, like let's say being removed out of a position in your job, or a job be removed from your life. Look back and see whether you were truly happy in the situation, whether you were truly allowing yourself to show up authentically, to show all of your potential. See if this is something that you truly loved and wanted in your life. Be sincere with yourself. See whether when you were in this relationship or in this job situation or in this mentality or with these habits, whether you were wishing to be somewhere else. Whether you were wishing for change. if that is the case, that is why universe also came in and answered your prayers. They came in and delivered change to you, opportunity for change. And sometimes relationships don't have to be like, I hate using this word. I truly dislike using this word toxic, because I feel no person is truly toxic. You guys, like, chemicals are toxic, but humans are humans. But anyways, so a relationship didn't have to be bad in order for it to have been like kind of ended or removed. It could have just been that maybe you were investing a lot of time, attention in this relationship or in this person or in this situation, that it was not allowing you to focus on other aspects of your life, to focus on your own growth and your own improvement. And so it's not necessarily, I know I used the word removed, but it's not necessarily that it was removed. It was just like universe coming in and telling you like, hey, kind of snap out of it, giving you some distance between that and what you were kind of hyper focusing on, so that you can have space now to focus on other things or aspects of your life that needs the attention right now. Because we do have the Four of Cups here, and the Four of Cups usually represents dissatisfaction, disillusionment. It's like this yearning and wanting for more, not being pleased with what you have. And it's funny because we were talking with the squirrel that now you are entering into this phase of your life where you are seeing the value of what is around you. And the Four of Cups is kind of contrary to that energy. The Four of Cups sees what it has currently and is not happy with it. So I definitely feel like you guys, there was this sense of dissatisfaction. Maybe you weren't very aware of it. Maybe you just felt kind of like a bit lethargic or unmotivated, and you really didn't know why this was happening. Maybe you were putting the blame on yourself, thinking that you were lazy, but that is not the case. It just feels like your surroundings weren't really inspiring you, weren't really motivating you. And it was for a reason. It was because it was time for a change. It is time for a change. There is something, I wouldn't say better, but there is something that is more stimulating for you out there waiting for you. Because we do also have the Dreamer card here, and the Four of Cups does give me that very daydreamy energy, because it's wanting for something else or something more, not wanting to be where you are currently. And so I feel like you guys are dreamers. You have big dreams, but the feminine hasn't allowed herself or themselves to fully pursue those dreams, to fully allow themselves to invest their energy into those dreams. And so it's been more like daydreaming that actually making the dreams happen, working on them in the 3D. And so universe is kind of now snapping you out of that daydreamer phase and making you, and kind of pushing you and nudging you to start working on the dreams, to start building them. Because I'm getting this message of having your head up in the clouds. And when we have our head up in the clouds, we can tend to be a bit ungrounded. And it's sort of like universe is pulling you back to ground so that you can start working on your visions. Start manifesting what you want in your reality. And so for the feminine, I'm seeing like a snapping out of it kind of thing, snapping out of it, waking up to reality, but not in a cruel way. It's kind of waking up to, like I said, ways of doing, ways of being, ways of thinking that was truly just keeping you stuck. We do have 16 and 17, and that's progression, that's movement forward. And then we do have this message. The fish is the emblem of riches through stocks. So I'm seeing this as investment. You guys are investing now. Investing in new ideas, investing in new projects. This is also talking about breaking away from fears. And excuses, like I said before. There's no more excuses anymore. you have the resources in order to move forward, in order to begin whatever you have been wanting to start. But universe is kind of done with listening to those excuses, and they're showing you the way. They're inspiring you now to see like, hey, maybe you can't do it this way, but you can do it this other way. There is other opportunities here. Let's go about it this way. Let's start at the beginning, and let the beginning be now, not in the future, not 5 years from now. Let it be now. And so that's why I feel like they're also removing you from old situations. So just an example, this is just an example. Let's say you always wanted to start a business of your own, but you've been using the excuse of having your 9-to-5 job. And the 9-to-5 job has become your comfort zone because it provides for you. It gives you insurance. It's good pay, And so you kind of hold yourself back by saying like, hey, you're comfortable where you are right now. Why risk it? And so the universe comes in and removes this job from your life. Let's say the company closes, or the staff needs reducing and you get cut off, right? Or your hours get reduced. And now you are forced to look at new options. And in those new options, the idea of starting a new business presents itself. And that is universe's way of kicking our butts and pushing us forward. It is uncomfortable and it is drastic and it is unexpected, but it is to guide us to a direction that at the end will be more favorable to us, will bring us more joy and more fulfillment. That is just an example. It is a bit extreme, but it was just to show you how these tower moments can show up in our lives. I feel like this is also that message of rejection is divine protection or divine intervention. I feel like that might be happening a lot for you guys. Like things that you expected to work out for you might not. And it is only because that wasn't truly in alignment with you, that wasn't going to lead you anywhere good. And that's why I feel that we have this Four of Cups, because that's like dissatisfaction. It is not here to like rain on your parade. It is here to kind of remind you what your true goals and what your true dreams are, and to not get distracted by other things that will not lead you anywhere close to your dreams. It is to become focused on what you do want to pursue and what you want to make of your future. But for the masculine, we have the Seer, which is the High Priestess. And to clarify, we have the Six of Pentacles. And we have abundance, okay? So this is very beautiful, because once the feminine sets herself free, once the feminine allows herself to be open-minded, to be creative, to pursue her dreams, the masculine begins working on it. The masculine begins seeing ways of making these dreams a reality. Because like I said, the feminine is about that creation, that imagination. It's about that expansiveness. The feminine is about believing, hoping, having faith. The masculine is more about the practical. It's about working on things, making them happen. It's about action, whereas the feminine is about receptivity. So once the feminine, allows herself to have wings in a way, to believe, to hope, to want for more, then the masculine, like I said, comes in and starts planning things out. Because with the High Priestess, this energy here, like it says, it's a seer energy. It's a very magical energy. Whenever the High Priestess comes out, I always get the message of someone who is highly psychic, or it's about hidden wisdom and knowledge. The seer is able to see what the mortals cannot, because the seer does not see with physical eyes. The seer, as you can see, she has her eyes closed. The seer closes her physical eyes to be able to see with her inner eye. She goes and looks within. She connects with the universe. She connects with the world around her in order to see all the possibilities, all the opportunities, all of the open doors. And so the masculine here is embodying this high priestess energy. Like I said, the masculine is not holding themselves back anymore. They are reaching for their abundance. They know what they want. They want this energy of abundance, and abundance can be anything that abundance means to you. So this can be material wealth, this can be emotional, spiritual, whatever it may be. The high priestess is focused on it and finding ways how to get to it, or how to bring this to them, because with her hand outstretched here feels like a calling in. It's sort of like she is feeling deep into the earth and pulling all of these flowers upwards. So this is also like a manifesting energy. I feel like a calling in. We do have like scrying here. So the masculine might actually be practicing forms of divination, or going to psychics, or people who do practice some form of magic and divination in order to manifest this abundance quicker, or not so much manifest, but in order to gain guidance on how to reach this abundance or how to obtain this abundance. And it's so cool because we have the flowers here, and then we have the flowers here for the transformation card. So yeah, this is telling me that this abundance, it's already in your timeline. It's already part of your reality, or part of your future. It's just gonna take a while for the masculine to see it in their physical 3D. And it is only because the intention of wanting this and of committing to working towards it has already been set. And so the universe has already plopped this into your timeline or in your future. And it's just gonna take a while for you to kind of get there according to the rules of time in our physical 3D. But then we do have the Six of Pentacles here. And the Six of Pentacles speaks about a fairness in giving and receiving. It's about prosperity, equality, charity. So I feel like this is talking about whatever the masculine is now working on, right? Because they have a goal in mind, and they're working to achieve this goal. The way that they are getting to their goal, to this abundance, they've now decided that it is going to fulfill them. So let's say this is material abundance. Now they are not working jobs that do not fulfill them to gain this material abundance. Now they are working in things that truly fulfill them. It's sort of like creating this abundance their way. Because that's the energy I feel with the Six of Pentacles, like reciprocity. It's like they put energy and effort into something, and whatever they're putting it into, that gives back to them in fulfillment and happiness and joy. So, as well as financially. So whereas before maybe they put a lot of invested a lot of energy into something, but it didn't give back to them financially, it didn't give back to them emotionally. And so there was a lack of reciprocity there. But now I see them working in something that they truly enjoy and that they love. So for some of them, like the masculine could have been working a 9-to-5 job, and what they were truly passionate about was like divination, right? Possibly like reading tarot. But like we were seeing here with the feminine, possibly they thought that tarot wasn't going to give back to them financially, or that it was like a risk to, kind of leave their 9-to-5 job and invest themselves fully in this tarot reading business. But as the feminine, as things shake up for the feminine, the masculine is then able to become free and do what they want to do, to create and work on what they want to work on. So the feminine can sometimes get emotionally attached to something, and it's not because they love it, but it's because it can become comforting to them. And please know that even the most uncomfortable things can become a comfort zone to us. And it becomes a comfort zone simply for the fact that it was a routine. It was something that we were used to, that we knew what to expect, right? And so I feel like this is kind of also like an emotional attachment to things that weren't really fulfilling, and it was difficult for the feminine to kind of detach from it emotionally in that way. And once the feminine does, or once the universe kind of forces this detachment here, then that is when the masculine can fully break free. That's what I'm seeing with the butterfly. Because now that this emotional attachment is removed, the masculine can start now working on what they want to create, pursuing what they want to pursue. And we do have the lion here, so this might be representing Leo energy, but I'm getting like the cowardly lion here. I'm also sensing a bit of fear here, and so this might also be new for the masculine, but this is such a like courageous energy. Remember that courage is not a lack of fear. Courage is having fear, but still going forward in the face of that fear. And that is exactly the energy I'm feeling from the masculine. Yes, this unknown is a bit scary. Yes, this new change is a little bit daunting, but the masculine has a dream. The masculine has a vision, and they have the passion. They are committed to this goal of theirs. They have ambition. And so even if they are a bit shaky on the legs, they are adamant on moving forward. Because I feel that the masculine energies has really been feeling trapped, because they have a lot of potential. That's what I'm seeing with the red dress here. It's reminding me of the root chakra. They have a lot of potential, a lot of creativity, a lot of passion, ambition. They want to work on something. They want to build. But these fears have been holding them back. And now that they're being pushed in a way by the universe, they have no other option but to move forward in the face of that fear. And that in itself is liberating to them. It's like, it almost feels like they needed the push. They needed someone to push them in order for them to start moving forward. And they're kind of grateful for that push, no matter how scary it may feel or seem. And actually, I was supposed to pull out some chakra cards, so I'm going to pull it for the masculine. And we have the higher heart, and I'm going to pull out some key terms. Oh my god, that was a lot. We have ascend, we have rest, travel, conclude, enlightened, and forgive. So with conclude, I'm seeing like conclusions, endings, closing of old cycles. We do have travel here, maybe for traveling is something that the masculine has always wanted to do. Like I said, like the masculine feels very action orientated, feels very ambitious. So I do feel like there are many places that you might want to visit, but you've been holding back on making those travels. We do have the energy of forgive here, and I feel like this is about forgiving the self for not allowing you to do what you want to do, for not allowing yourself to fully express who you are. And then we do have ascend, and that's again reminding me of moving forward. We have enlighten here, and that's the energy of the high priestess, is having this inner knowing, being enlightened about your journey, being enlightened about what you want to do, what path you want to take. And I also feel like this is getting information from higher wisdom, from your higher self, on what steps to take next, how to reach this abundance. And then we do have rest here, which if you have been overworking yourself, this is also like letting the masculine know, like it's okay to rest every once in a while. Rest allows you to recharge. Rest allows you to connect with your higher self, to be able to receive information on the most efficient way to move forward. So allow yourself rest. I'm going to pull out a chakra for the feminine. We have the third eye chakra, and the third eye chakra talks about clarity. We have the higher heart for the masculine, so I'm going back and forth. The higher heart for the masculine is about connecting to your higher self, connecting with your authenticity, connecting with your truth. And I'm definitely seeing the masculine connecting with their high priestess energy, connecting with their higher self. And I feel like this higher heart is only letting us know further that the masculine is going for their dreams. That's it. It's like final. They are heading towards their dreams and nothing can stop them now. There's no more holding back. With the third eye chakra that talks about clarity and vision, having vision for a future, visualizing the future that you want for yourself. And that's what the feminine is indulging in now. Going to pull out some keywords for the feminine. Okay, we have patience, and this one fell off screen, and we have love. Yeah, love. I was gonna say before these ones fell out that for the feminine energy, if you are in a divine counterpart situation, one of the things that you might have been extremely dissatisfied in might have been in love. Now, love doesn't necessarily have to be romantic. It's just love in general. Maybe there was even a dissatisfaction towards the love you had for yourself. And I feel like if you haven't felt like there is enough love in your life, I feel it's because there is a lack of love for self. And so I do feel like there is kind of this heart chakra activation going on, because we definitely see it here with the masculine. And that in itself allows you to start seeing yourself in a new light, and to start embracing this energy of love more. Seeing that love doesn't come externally. Love comes from within. And yes, it's wonderful to receive love, but it's even more wonderful to feel it within yourself. So this Four of Cups can sometimes denote boredom. So I feel like this energy of boredom is shifting into the energy of excitement. And as this energy of excitement comes in, you allow yourself to open up to the energy of love. Because there is, with the excitement, there's such this energy of playfulness and innocence. And in all of that, there is love for life, love for the possibilities, love for the future. There's just a love for life. And I also feel like this might be talking in terms like to romantic relationships, romantic love. For some of you, it might have been a while since you've been in a romantic relationship, or the romantic relationships you have been quite dissatisfactory. And you've been dreaming about that perfect love. You've been dreaming about your counterpart. If you already have somebody in mind, but maybe you haven't fully allowed yourself to truly believe that this could be possible for you. You've just been kind of daydreaming about it, but you don't really accept the fact that there is this romantic love or this counterpart out there waiting for you. But now with this shakeup, I feel like you are allowing yourself to embrace the fact that yes, you can have this divine love, and you do have it, and you can experience that romance you've always wanted to experience, and you don't have to settle, and you don't have to lower your standards. You can shoot for the stars and farther, and your standards will be met. And this masculine here, this masculine energy feels very divine, very spiritual, very aware of themselves, very aware of what they want. And it might not just be in terms to career or to life purpose. This might even be in terms to who they want as a partner, what they want to feel in a relationship and a connection. And maybe their awakening to what it is that they want causes this shakeup in the feminine's life, because you're the one for them. And so now that they awaken, they're calling in what they want. They're calling in their abundance. And so they are calling to you. And so in order for you to meet, you kind of have to meet each other halfway. And so that's why your foundations have been shaken, in order to break your chains away so that you can now come and meet your divine counterpart halfway. But now I'm going to pull out the last card to see any more advice or guidance Spirit has for you guys on how to bring these two energies into balance. And we have Marina Abramovic, I believe. And the message here says, skeptic, heal thyself. Discipline is both a noun and verb. When a stranger stares into your soul, do not press charges, stare back. I love this card. We do have this Scorpion, so there's Scorpio energy here. I also feel like there's Sagittarius energy as well as like Leo energy coming through, so those might be significant signs. But skeptic, heal thyself. It's time to start believing. You guys have dreams. It's a waste to have dreams and not believe in them. You're a dreamer for a reason. Believe in yourself, dreamer. It's time to believe in your dreams. This might also be in terms to a healing journey, which is what I'm feeling with the transformation. This Tower moment here is allowing you to wake up. Wake up to your true self, wake up to your potential, wake up to your desires. And once we wake up, a lot of things come to the surface. A lot of old beliefs, feelings that we've suppressed, that we've held on to, that need a bit of looking into in order to see what their purpose was, or in order to see how they were holding us back and heal them in a way. So I'm definitely seeing a healing journey here, especially into like emotional attachments for the feminine. So some of you might be working, the feminine might be working a lot with their emotional body, clearing out their emotional body. And I feel like drinking water, staying hydrated might help a lot to detox that emotional body. Also, if you've been having a lot of nightmares, it is through dreams that we also heal, because that's where we allow our subconscious to fully come through, to be. We're not resisting the thoughts that come up in our dreams. And so in dreams, a lot of traumas or fears or phobias come up. And sometimes they show up as nightmares. But in the dreams, we allow ourselves to feel through it and experience it. And so in doing that, we release, we heal. So if you've been having nightmares, I feel that that is your subconscious trying to heal itself, trying to release. Because that's also the energy I get from this Scorpion. It's like really going deep within, going to that shadow aspects of ourselves, looking deep into our subconscious, deep into our emotions. And that can be a bit uncomfortable. That's what the Tower card is about. But it serves a purpose. Discipline is both a noun and a verb. This is really connected with that masculine energy. The masculine energy is learning discipline. Discipline is needed in order to achieve your goals, right? In order to make the dreams a reality. So for you guys, I see you becoming more focused, more goal-orientated, more disciplined. This is not about being strict with yourself. This is about giving yourself order, not allowing yourself to get sidetracked or distracted by things that are necessary or here just to give you like short-term satisfaction. This is about reaching for that long-term goal. And I feel like this is also talking about discipline in your spiritual practice. Staying connected with your higher self or with your guide, staying connected with the divine. When a stranger stares into your soul, do not press charges, stare back. I love this message. This is about being authentic. This is about not having anything to hide, not being ashamed of your dreams, not being ashamed of who you are, not being ashamed of your desires. It's also what I'm getting with this Scorpion energy. I'm realizing we have this orange color. It's reminding me of the sacral chakra. When the sacral chakra is blocked, it's usually blocked by shame. Shame or guilt, I believe. Or both. So it's time to release feelings of shame. I also feel like if there's challenges that arise, do not fear them. You have nothing to fear. If they have come knocking at your door, it's because you can overcome them. And these challenges are just here to show you how badass you are, because you can overcome them. See how she's holding the bow? This is about not allowing yourself to be intimidated by anyone or anything. Because you guys are showing up as the high priestess. You guys are going through these tower moments and you are pulling through. I feel like this is also an energy of not settling. I don't know why I looked at the chairs in the back and it's reminding me of like dating. And it's like you guys are waiting for your partner, your counterpart. And, you know, like people who are not your counterpart come in and you see them for who they truly are. You see their true face and you realize that this is not your person. This is about not settling. You know who you want to be with. You know what you want in a relationship. Do not settle for less. Because what you want, what is meant for you, is out there. Your person is out there if you haven't met them already. And if you are currently in a relationship or with your counterpart, if there is ever conflict between you both, it's not allowing anger to take the front stage, because anger comes from fear, right? I'm seeing these as subconscious fears. It's like realizing, kind of using discernment and realizing what are fears, what are your true emotions, and being aware enough of them to see like, hey, I can choose to either let these fears take control, or I can choose to show up differently. I can choose to show up in compassion and kindness, or in understanding. So this is sort of like putting the weapons down and choosing peace instead. I'm noticing how she has a red dress and the high priestess here has a red dress and she has braids and the high priestess here has braids. So I definitely see high priestess energy coming to the forefront, which is beautiful to see. Because the high priestess doesn't need to use violence, doesn't need to use pain, anger, any of that to make her point come across. The high priestess doesn't need to scream. A few words of wisdom are all that is needed. And you have that wisdom. To be able to connect with that wisdom, there is a need to connect within. Like I said, I feel like if you're not in union with your counterpart, you're coming into union. Your feminine and masculine are slowly coming into harmony. As you start allowing yourself to believe in yourself and to work in your dreams and to not feel shame for who you are and what you want and what journey you're deciding to take. Okay, but that is all I have for you guys. I hope you enjoyed this reading. I hope it brought some guidance, some clarity. If it did, then please leave a like or a comment. And if you want to stick around for more readings with me, Kim, then please do subscribe. I do offer personal readings. All the information is in my website, and the link to my website can be found in the description box down below. Thank you so much for watching, and until the next moment, bye-bye. Hola seekers who chose the Shark, Resolve, Union, and Peacock or combo. Bienvenidos to your reading, where we will be looking into the current state of the feminine and masculine energy respectively, as well as the current energy of the relationship between these two. And this is to help us see if there are currently any blockages, what those blockages are, how to best remove them to bring these two energies into balance or into union per se. Now, as I mentioned with the previous group, the topic of this pick a card was actually inspired by my sister, but her intention for this reading was to see the current state of the feminine and masculine energy of the self. Yet I do know that some of us are in a divine counterpart or connection type of journey. So if you are looking to see what the current energy of your divine connection is with either your divine masculine or or divine feminine, then I do feel that this reading can be used to do just that. So you can use this reading to check up on the self as well as your divine connection. If that resonates with you, if it doesn't, then you can just use this reading to check up on the self. Okay, now let's get into your reading. And I will start off with an intuitive message. So for you guys, I received the message, "We are safe." And I felt a lot of pressure and tension in my headspace, but I felt a lot of openness at the base of my spine, and I'm associating this with the root chakra. So I feel like you guys are working your way up. This might even be like a Kundalini awakening, or for some of you, you are starting to work on your chakras, and the root chakra is the first of the 7 main chakras. So it's the base. We start from there and then work our way up. And if that is the case, I feel like you have successfully activated the root chakra, and it almost feels like an awakening of sorts. Energy is starting to flow or to be integrated. And because of this, you are now getting better access to higher information, or having a better or clearer access to the higher self. For those of you who are in a divine connection, I feel this is about you becoming more aware of the connection, feeling more energetically connected with your divine counterpart. And it's not that you have never been energetically connected to them, but it's like you weren't aware of this connection up until now. And so now you feel the connection more strongly. And I also feel this sense of like grounding. So maybe grounding the connection now into the physical 3D. Whereas maybe before you felt him more in the 5D, maybe this was about you dreaming about the person or just daydreaming about this type of connection. But that was about it. Now it's finally manifesting into the 3D, so finally seeing physical signs of this connection, be it through synchronicities or finding out who this person is. As I mentioned before, feeling the connection and believing it to be real now, enough to fully call for it or call this connection in, to start truly manifesting it or wanting this connection. But now I'm going to move into the cards. So we have Shark, Resolve, and we have Union. These cards here are to let us know about the current energy of the relationship between the masculine and the feminine. And it looks pretty favorable because we do have union here, which is pretty much self-explanatory. I'm seeing this union coming in of the masculine and the feminine, but I would like to point out that though we have the key term union, the image itself doesn't really convey a physical union, because see the 2 hands here, they aren't really touching. They're close to coming in contact, but they are not in contact. So like I said, this feels more like an energetical union or coming closer to that balance. And I barely noticed this, but one of the hands has like this flower as a ring and the other one doesn't. And these flowers actually look like eyes to me. So I'm actually seeing this as representing the third eye. And the third eye is all about clarity, about vision, about seeing the truth of a situation. So I feel like if this is in regards to like a divine connection, I feel like one of the counterparts has awakened to the connection, has become aware of the connection. And because you are the one listening to this reading, then I feel that this is most likely representing you. The other person has yet to fully become aware of this divine connection or become aware of what is going on, or maybe they have yet to awaken spiritually. And so I feel that is one of the reasons why this is not a full-on union, be it energetically as well as physically, especially physically, like a physical union. If you are not in any like divine type of divine connection situation, I feel like this is also representing that. One of the energies, be it the masculine or feminine, is more awakened to the self than the other. I have yet to look at the cards to see which one it is, but it might be the case that the feminine is more in balance with its true archetype or essence than the masculine energy, or vice versa. And so that's why there's still a bit of an imbalance, and that's why the energies haven't yet fully come into union, because like I said, one feels more awakened, more in balance with its true essence than the other. We do have the shark here, and it feels like such an opposing energy to this union card here. I kind of don't want to take it into account. I don't know why, I just keep being pulled to this union card. This feels like a separate entity. Like this feels like the representation of the relationship between the masculine and feminine, of your connection, but this shark feels like something other. It might be the case that at this moment, or that you have recently experienced a lot of hardships, obstacles, or struggles, and when these came through, it felt like they were kind of swallowing you whole. It's like when you were going through this, it was really a dark time for you. I'm like imagining the abyss and how dark and cold it is. And so being in this darkness, there was a sense of hopelessness and a feeling of disconnection. So where you might have felt disconnected with yourself or disconnected with the world, and there might have been this energy of feeling lost or feeling alone in the world or possibly in the universe. Yet Spirit wants you to know that even though you felt this way, it was not the case. You can never be truly separated from yourself, is what I'm getting here, because see how the wreath is connecting both of these hands, and I'm seeing one of the hands as the feminine and the other as the masculine. So if this is not something of the past, if you feel you're currently going through this, please know that you can never truly lose yourself. Even when we feel at our lowest, our true self is always there. And I'm getting this energy of reaching out. It only takes for you to reach within yourself in order to find that company that you seek. Because even if you are in a divine connection, and this might be talking about you losing faith in this divine connection, losing hope in regards to ever coming into union with your divine counterpart, this is letting you know you can never lose your counterpart, because they are your counterpart. They are a part of you. And if you ever miss them, if you ever feel alone, all you need to do is reach within. Reach within, that's what I'm seeing here. Extend your hand and you will be able to feel them. And if it's not them, it's feeling yourself. You are never alone. And you don't have to go through hardships alone. So I also feel like this is actually, seeking help or seeking for guidance when you need it. It's okay to do that. And I also feel this message of, if you are currently going through this episode of turmoil and struggle, be it externally or internally, this feels like someone coming in to like pull you out. Maybe this is representing your divine counterpart, their energy, the love that they emit, the idea itself of your counterpart, of this connection, is enough to help pull you out of the dark, to help pull you out of the abyss. And I know I used the phrase the idea of the connection, but Like, Spirit wants you to know that it's not the connection itself that helps you see the light, but it's the love that the connection embodies. So at the end of the day, it is love that helps you see the light. So I'm seeing like you guys kind of acknowledging what this relationship is, acknowledging how both of these aspects are needed in order to form this love. How even though sometimes we want to go through a journey alone, because we may have this mentality that we need to prove ourselves or to prove ourselves strong or capable, we need to go through something by ourselves. We need to make it on our own. But you are learning that no, that's not necessary, and it's not the case. It's okay to rely on others every once in a while. It's okay to reach for help. It's okay to reach within. Even within, because sometimes I feel like we can be too harsh on ourselves, expecting us to show up a certain way. And when we do that, we are rejecting a part of ourselves, because we are not allowing ourselves to, be accepting of how we're showing up, even if it's not in accordance to our expectations. And so this is about acceptance as well, and realizing that vulnerability is acceptable, that the logic is okay as well as the intuition. I'm seeing the logic as masculine, intuition as feminine, vulnerability as feminine, and strength as masculine. Like they're both capable, they're both needed, and you are kind of finally like reaching. It feels like reaching for the other. You are finally allowing these two to connect and to meet and to see how stronger they are together to overcome the obstacles. And like, I'm getting this separate message of no third party or no external thing can come between you both. They might try, but they won't be able to. But I'm going to read the back of this card. It says, Shark, resolve. At no time in Shark's life does he consider weakness an impossibility. He is very aware that this condition is an inescapable facet of life. Unwilling to be a victim of his own ignorance, Shark swims in the certain and uncertain realities of the vast ocean. In his resolve, we learn about acceptance, actuality, and truth. There is nothing more harsh in life than being sideswiped unexpectedly. Shark reminds us of this inevitability. With awareness and resolve, we will endure. Yeah, so if there are some external factors, third parties, and it doesn't have to be a person, it could be a thing or a situation that you feel will come between you and your counterpart, or you feel will kind of tear you down in a way, or kind of pull you away from your divine path, please know that that is not the case. Like, you will be able to overcome all of the obstacles, and nothing can pull you away from your true self. It is only the belief that you are not connected with the true you that can make you feel that disconnection. And I'm getting this also as like the highest you or your higher self. You are already your highest self. You are simply remembering it, remembering you at this moment. But you are always your highest self. That, like I said, that cannot be taken away from you. But I'm going to move into the other cards. So this is to look at the feminine energy, and we have number 5, the ancestor, which is the Hierophant in the Rider-Waite's Tarot. And to clarify, we have the 5 of Swords, number 6, the Coffin, and we have Hope. Oh yeah, see, I was talking about hope. So definitely, as I was saying, there might be times where you might lose sight of hope. And I feel like that might be the struggle with the feminine, because like I said, feminine energy is about vulnerability. I see it as an energy of miracles and magic. It's about believing, having faith, having hope. And so this Five of Swords can often represent an energy of self-sabotage. It's an energy of conflict and disagreements. Because we do have the shark here, and I'm connecting that with the element of water, sometimes the feminine can get carried away by their emotions and get easily drowned by them. And when that happens, that is when it's very difficult to see this hope or to hold on to hope. Because with this Five of Swords, I'm getting like, maybe that's why I felt a lot of pressure in my head, like a lot of overthinking, but like so much going up in the mind, and it can usually be like pessimistic thoughts or negative thoughts, and these thoughts, all they do is self-sabotage, because I feel like they have nothing to do with reality. Yes, there might be conflicts in your external reality, but how the mind perceives it makes it even more difficult than it truly is. It's like the mind makes the feminine believe that there is no solution, that there is no way out, that this is the end of things. And I feel that that's why we have the coffin. It almost feels like whenever conflict arises, or whenever come face to face with an obstacle or a hurdle, it feels like the end of the world. It feels like this is it. Like it's the end of things. When in reality, it isn't. It's just how the mind is perceiving it. And I feel like it's because the mind has become accustomed to kind of react this way. And it is for a reason. You know, our mind isn't stupid. Our mind adapts habits, ways of doing things that it feels it needs to do in order to survive, like for survival. This feels like survival mode here. So your mind making you believe there is no way out, it's kind of its way of forcing you to retreat and to take cover, because it feels like the situation is dangerous or out of control. Because with this Hierophant, the Hierophant does speak about like tradition, traditional values, what's conventional, about conformity. So it feels like these are like old habits, like old ways of doing things that really haven't been serving you. And now Spirit is coming through to let you know, like, hey, we need to start changing things. We need to start changing how we perceive things, how we react to things. Because we do have the number 5 here showing up twice. Number 5 is an energy of change. These are drastic and dramatic changes. These are needed changes for transformation. And whenever I see the ancestor, I see it as a wake-up call. See how this ancestor is holding the drums? So it's like your soul is being called to awaken. Because it feels like what has been ruling you as of late, or has been ruling the feminine, is the mental space. And it's time to bring the feminine to the forefront, because the feminine rules more of the emotional body. At least that's how I perceive it, because the feminine is about feelings and intuition. But like I said, we do have the 5 of Swords here, and it feels like sort of like group 1, the feminine has been more in the mental body than the emotional body and the spiritual body. So it's time to call that feminine energy in back home. And the way to do that is by installing this sense of hope. I'm seeing a cycle here, like it's starting to see how you react to unfavorable outcomes, or you react to rejection, how you react to, like I said, challenges or hurdles. Because I feel like in most of the situations, there is always this silver lining. And if we focus more on the solution rather than the problem, I assure you that doors will open up faster for you, and there will be more like gateways for solutions. Whereas if we focus more on the problem itself, we kind of entangle ourselves in that energy. We kind of make more problems than there were in the first place. So for the feminine, I feel like this is about kind of letting go of like maybe old belief systems or ways of doing things that have not been serving you as of yet. And I feel like letting go of the old is something that might be a little bit difficult and might be a bit scary. This might even be like traditional values. I'm even seeing it on a bigger scale. For example, religions. Seeing what aspect of the religion we put our entire faith in has been holding us back or has been causing us more fear and more anxiety than peace and love. And then seeing that for what it is, and then giving yourself the choice to continue believing in this or practicing this, or deciding to, release this belief, which can be difficult, right? So just to give you an example, let's say I, as a tarot reader, find out that actually reading cards gives me more anxiety and stress than it gives me joy and fulfillment or clarity. And now I have to come into this awareness and kind of this acceptance of what is truly going on and decide whether I want to continue reading tarot, which I know brings me anxiety and stress, and pretend like it's actually helping me when it's not, and keep myself in this cycle, or whether I want to finally, move away from this form of divination and find something else that is more suited for me at this moment. So this is about seeing what truly assists you and helps you, and what has been detrimental, what truly brings you hope, and what kind of, pulls you down into this abyss or this darkness. But I'm definitely seeing forward movement here, because after the 5s, we do have this 6. So there's this continuous energy. And the 6 does talk about balance. Now, I wanted to pull out a chakra to see what chakra needs a little working on for the feminine energy. And we have the third eye chakra, and I want to pull out some keywords. Okay. So we have validate, we have forgive, and we have decision. So with decision, yes, I definitely feel this is about realizing you have a choice. You can decide for yourself what you want to walk away from, what you want to keep pursuing. With the third eye chakra, I was talking about the third eye chakra before, that does talk about clarity, about seeing the truth, about seeing through the veil. So seeing things for what they truly are. And I feel like right now things are a little foggy and unclear for you, and I feel like it is this way because of fear. Fear of seeing the truth. Fear of accepting the truth because it goes against your norms, because it goes against tradition, because it goes against what you have been used to for so long. And we do have ancestor energy, so this is about ancestry, your ancestor line. So this goes way back, and that's why I feel like it's such a turmoil to break away from this cycle, because it goes back generations. Whatever this is might have also been holding your ancestors back. And it truly feels like fear of speaking up, fear of showing up, because when there was speaking up, when there was authenticity, there was backlash. Because that's also the energy of the 5 of Swords, because the 5 of Swords can be a very violent energy, and it's also one of standing up for yourself, but I see it more as if you are not in alignment with me, or you do not believe what I believe, then I'm going to put you down. So it's very aggressive. And I feel like that's why we have forgive and validate here, because there might be like, this might even be due to like past life traumas that the feminine is holding on to. Maybe this is about the feminine trying to express their magic. Maybe it's literally about them, you know, in another life having like healing abilities or psychic abilities, and there was backlash, or the feminine was persecuted for it. And because of this persecution, there was a feeling of invalidation of the gifts and the talents that the feminine had, about their magic and their power. And so I feel like now it's the time to validate the feminine. Whatever it is that the feminine brings to the table, it's time to validate it, to validate yourself. You have gifts, you have talents. We have the ancestor here, such a powerful energy, such a magical energy. It's time for you to empower the feminine. And with the forgiveness, it's forgiving that this aggression. I know it's difficult, you know, but to forgive at times, because there's so much pain behind it all. But it's knowing that what was persecuting, let's say, the feminine, what was putting the feminine down was fear, was overall fear. And like I said, I feel like for the feminine, there is a great amount of fear. And so it's like forgiving the fear, you know, forgiving those people or that industry or that system for allowing themselves or itself to be consumed by the fear and respond in this violent way. And it's also forgiving yourself for also being consumed by this fear, or having been consumed by this fear. And then through that forgiveness, you release yourself of it. Through that forgiveness, you make way for hope. And in this energy of hope, you're able to set yourself free, fly free. There is some work to do in terms to like ancestry line or like blood lineage. It's also in terms to what traditions, what values are you holding on to that are not really yours? What things are you adopting from systems or from others that no longer serve you? And it's about also viewing your mentality, seeing how your perception is changing or shifting or shape-shifting your reality, and whether this is serving you. And it's sort of like, as of late, you've been seeing the cup half empty, and now it's time to see it the other way. Now it's time to see the cup half full. And I'm going to pull a quote here from Avatar: The Last Airbender. It was said by the character Uncle Iroh, and I really love this quote because I feel it's very true and very adequate for this reading. So I do hope that you guys will look at the screen and read it, because I don't know it by heart or by memory. But yes, hope is the greatest gift you can give yourself, and it's the greatest form of courage, I believe, as well. So that's what I'm seeing for the feminine, and now I'm going to move into the masculine energy. And we have 7 of vessels, which is the 7 of cups. To clarify, we have the 7 of wands, number 20, the lilies in reverse. And then we have goodness upright. Okay, so the 7 of cups often represents illusions. It can also represent having multiple choices, so much so that it can become a bit confusing as to what to choose or what choice is best for you. And it's funny how we have 5 and 5, and then we have 7 and 7. So we have repeated numbers here. So if you've been seeing 555 or 777 or 77 or any of these numbers, then this might be confirmation that this reading is for you, this message is for you. But with this 7 of vessels, having the energy of mourning here, for the masculine, it feels like the masculine has been recently pretty stuck in the past. because I feel that the masculine is thinking that they have missed opportunities. Because see, we have these cups here, but they are empty. They have absolutely no liquid. So it's like the masculine is clinging on to old situations or past opportunities that the masculine feels might have given to them in some way. So emotionally or materially. But because these opportunities were not taken, the masculine feels like there were missed opportunities. Like he has missed out on a lot. Like he could have been in a better situation or could have been more ahead in their career or in their life if they've only managed to snatch these opportunities. But the Seven of Vessels is here to let you know that this is all an illusion. Whatever the masculine deems as missed opportunities are not really missed opportunities. Whether the masculine would have taken them or not, or excelled in them or not, they wouldn't have made the masculine better or wouldn't have led them to a better position or farther in their journey. So this whole idea is simply an illusion, and it's time for the masculine to realize this, because them thinking this way is simply holding them back. It's keeping them stuck in the same place. And it's only because they keep looking back instead of like moving forward. And I feel like the Seven of Wands is kind of similar to the Five of Swords, because the Seven of Wands is a very defensive energy when it is upright. It's sort of like fighting your corner, standing up for your beliefs, standing up for yourself. It can be very assertive, but sometimes when this energy is out of balance, like I said, it can be very on the defensive or demanding. But we do have this card in reverse. So I'm seeing this energy of kind of surrendering, of giving in, surrendering the control over a situation. So for the masculine, I'm definitely seeing a bit of progress here, because we have this Seven of Vessels and then we have this Seven of Wands in reverse. So whatever the masculine was holding on to, I'm seeing them finally letting go of it. So letting go of this idea that they have missed out on something, letting go of this idea that would have been better than this, or if they would have done that, they would be in a better place than they are right now. They are completely just like letting go of this. And we do have the Goodness card here, and I love it that it's upright, because the Goodness talks about self-reflection, introspection, and I see it as a connection with the self. See how we have this energy center here and it's fully lit, it's fully activated, and I'm seeing this energy center as the heart space. So I'm seeing the masculine connecting more with their authenticity, with their true self. And now actually I feel like this hand that we said had like the third eye activation is actually the masculine energy. I feel like the masculine energy is becoming more awakened with their true self, and possibly because see how we have like this mirroring here to the connection as well, because this divine connection here is primarily centered in the heart space. So I feel like the masculine energy being more connected with the self helps activate this heart space, and thus is able to connect with the feminine energy. So this is a message for those of you who are in a divine connection. I do feel like the masculine is awakened to this connection, or becoming more aware of this connection. And because of this, I do feel like this is, see how we have this like sun here, and then it seems like the sun here, it seems like the same energy center here. It feels like this here allows the masculine to have hope, and this sense of hope is what allows them to move forward from this situation. Now we do have the lilies here, and the lilies for me also denote a sense of hope and happiness and joy, playfulness and innocence. As we can see, the lilies forecast a happy life. But since we do have this energy in reverse, I do feel like the masculine is still working on strengthening this sense of hope and faith, because it feels like this energy of mourning, they've been in this for a while. So if this is in terms to, let's say, a career situation, or let's say a spiritual journey, and you feel like you haven't advanced as much in your spiritual journey, in your career, or in your life in general, and you kind of been stuck in the what ifs and I should haves or I shouldn't have, then that has been holding you back. Because the masculine energy is all about practicality, putting in the physical work to make things happen. And if you keep feeling like you didn't do good enough, if you keep feeling like you could have done better, that holds you back. That doesn't allow you to fully progress and move forward. Because you're stuck in the what ifs. I could have, I should have. And there's no progress. There's no progressive movement there. And I feel like it's back to this fear that the feminine is harboring, is holding on to. And like I said, I feel like this fear goes way back. So I'm like, I can understand how this is very difficult to kind of identify and to really let go of. And it's a work in progress. But I'm seeing that the masculine is kind of coming out of it and through it, and that will help the feminine as well have the courage to move away from this old belief system or this old system, to step away from this fear by starting again, like I said, this sense of hope. That sense of hope will pull you along, and like I said, one pulls the other out of that darkness. Even if it's not like a divine connection, this is like talking about the self, your masculine energy, right? Your way of doing things, of seeing things, having hope for the future, having hope to create again or to build again, can help pull the feminine out of the space of darkness or out of the space of fear. It can help pull the feminine out of the abyss, as we were mentioning before. So you are helping yourself. And this is about like allowing you to help yourself. Because see, again, we have this mirroring here, like the masculine and the reflection is the feminine. And so the feminine reflects the masculine. And the masculine reflects the feminine. So if one takes a step forward, the other one follows. And then we start building up. Then we start working our way upwards. And if this is like in terms of divine connection, I feel like it is the divine masculine's work that will help give courage to the divine feminine to pull herself up as well. But this is about, for the masculine, it's about surrendering, releasing control, releasing the past. Because wondering about the what ifs or what could have been, it's sort of like feeling like you have control over the situation, but it's really doing nothing. Because the past is in the past. And if it's in the past, it's because it no longer belongs in the present now. Because there's better things waiting for you in the present that can help you work towards the future that you want for yourself. So you're not missing out, and you're not behind in your journey. You are where you are meant to be. So you can move forward now. It's okay to move forward now. But I start rambling. But I wanted to pull out Chakra card. Okay, and then we have the heart chakra. Yes, this is the heart chakra. That's what we were mentioning here with the goodness card. Let me pull out some key terms. Spirit, reveal. Is there one more? 1, 2, 3. Wow, that was a lot. So I'm just gonna take the ones that fell out. So we have spirit, we have body, we have healing, we have spirit. Oh yeah, I already said spirit. And yes, see, we have ascend, and then we have reveal. Yes, for the masculine, things are being revealed to them. The information about this connection, the fact that this connection exists if you are in a divine connection situation. This is simply also revealing the truth about the situation, revealing the illusion. So you guys are ascending. Definitely feel like the masculine is moving upwards and it's pulling the feminine with him. With spirit, I'm seeing this as connecting more with spirit, connecting more with self. Having this heart chakra energy, I feel like the masculine is working on the heart chakra, clearing it out, making space for their future, making space for their highest self. With body here, this can be talking about being more mindful of the physical body, grounding the self, being more connected with the physical body, or being more connected with the 3D plane in order to move forward, in order to start creating again. I keep getting like astral body. I don't know. I keep seeing this mirroring here. And it feels like one body, one mind, one soul. So like the masculine is working to bring kind of this union together. And it might even be like done unconsciously. Like if this is a divine connection, like the 3D self of the masculine, the work that they're doing, they might not be consciously aware that what they're also doing is bringing this union about. Yes, healing. It's like they are bringing in the healing at the moment. The masculine is the one who is initiating this healing. And it's because they are working with the heart space at the moment. And like I said, this connection derives from the heart space. So them activating and connecting with this energetic center is automatically connecting them with the feminine. So that's why I get this like helping the other. Yeah, so that's pretty cool. Now I'm going to pull out a card here that will give us like more advice or guidance from spirit on how to bring these two energies into balance. And then we have Joseph Boyce. You also contribute to humanities. I am not going to pronounce that, you guys, but here it is. Make sure your rabies shots are up to date. Symbolism is just one ambulance right away. Okay, this is a funky message. But this word, I looked it up, and it means total work of art. You also contribute to humanity's total work of art. So I feel this is simply saying that whatever work you do contributes to the whole. So whatever steps you take, no matter how small you perceive them, contributes to the ascension, contributes to the healing. I just keep getting that message. Allow you to help yourself. And if help from others comes along the way, allow yourself to receive that help. Because let's say I'm getting it as crumbs, but every little crumb that you get is meaningful. It builds up to something. And I keep getting this energy of building up, working your way up. So you are contributing to your growth, to your healing, to your ascension, whatever steps that you take. And this is also about like contributing, as it says here, to humanity's total work of art. So like you see with like the divine connection, right? When we give positive examples, we inspire. And this is like, you don't have to be a spiritual teacher. You don't have to be like spiritual. You don't have to be a preacher in order to inspire others. All you need to do is show up and be the example by simply being you and not giving up on yourself and having faith and hope in your journey and in your growth and in your capabilities. That in itself inspires. See, when you allow yourself to have hope, to believe in yourself, you automatically become light. You automatically illuminate. And that's all that is needed. When you turn on your light, other people can see this light and be reminded, hey, I also have a light of my own. And they will be inspired and motivated to reach within and help themselves to illuminate as well. So what you do, whatever you do, is inspiring and is inspiring others. Even if you might not see it, even if you might not believe that you matter to the whole, you do. You matter. And look, we have a ladder again, and that's again reminding me of ascension, working your way up. And with this dog here being all like aggressive, it's reminding me of that fear. And see how we have it like on this side of the feminine? So this fear is barking at you, but it's just barking. You have the power. Your serenity, your faith in yourself can tame this fear. Because we can either let this dog intimidate us, or we can show up, take the front stage and bring the calmness to the situation. With make sure your rabies shots are up to date, I feel like that's talking about keeping up with your physical health, keeping up with your mental well-being and your emotional state. Our mental well-being is also important. And like I said, if you need the help, it's okay to reach out for help. It's okay. It's just like a physical checkup. Getting a mental checkup from like a specialist. There's nothing wrong with that. You are just, checking in on yourself. Checking in that everything's okay, that everything is in order. And if it isn't, it's okay. Let's work through it. It's okay. You don't need to hide away. You don't need to hide. You don't need to hide your fears. Also, hiding your fears does not make them go away. You could be upfront about it. And that's why I say, like, seeking help from a professional or seeking help from someone that you can trust, that can help a lot. Putting your fears forward, giving them a face, like unveiling them, it brings so much like clarity, and it kind of takes the power away from the fear. Because when we keep it hidden in the dark, when we keep it on the down low in silence, it gives it more power. It makes it more ominous in a way. But when we reveal it to the light, we take that power away from it. Then we have symbolism is just one ambulance right away. I will leave that for your interpretation. With this hair here, I know it seems a bit gruesome, but I'm seeing this as the past. And like, I feel like this can also be representing like the masculine energy is leaving the past hanging in order to tend to the feminine, to tend to the feminine's insecurities, fears, and worries in order to soothe the pain, to bring this balance. So I definitely see the masculine working with the feminine. Ooh, so beautiful. Collaboration, cooperation with another being if that applies, but also within the self. Okay, so I feel those are all the messages for you guys. I hope you enjoyed this reading. I hope it brought some guidance, some clarity. If it did, then please leave a like or a comment. And if you want to stick around for more readings with me, Kim, then please do subscribe. I do offer personal readings. All the information is in my website, and the link to my website can be found in the description box down below. Thank you so much for watching, and until the next moment, bye-bye. Hola seekers who chose the Snail, Patience, Blossom, and Black Tourmaline combo. Welcome to your reading, where we will be looking at the current state of the feminine and masculine energies respectively, as well as the current energy of the relationship between these two. And this is just to help us see if there are any current blockages, what those blockages are, how we can best remove them to bring these two energies into balance or into union per se. Now, the topic of this reading was inspired by my sister, but her intention for this reading was to look at the feminine and masculine energy of the self, because we all hold both feminine and masculine energies, and when these two are in perfect harmony, then that is when we ourselves are in balance. But I do know that some of us are in a divine counterpart journey situation. So if you are and you are looking to see what the current state or energy of your divine connection is with with either your divine feminine or your divine masculine, then I feel that you can use this reading to do just that. So you can use it to check up on the self as well as to check up on your divine connection. If it applies. If it doesn't, then this reading can simply be used to check up on the self. Okay, but now we will get into your reading. And I will start off with an intuitive message. So for this group, there is definitely a need for grounding. Spirit wants you to be a little bit more present, a little bit more in your body. Possibly you've been too much up in your head or into the future, so visualizing, wondering what the future will look like, or worrying about the future. And if that is the case, we need to pull back, because what that is causing is for you to be a little bit scattered all over the place, and it's not really allowing you to focus or to be able to work with what you have at the present moment. So sometimes when we worry too much about the future or just center our focus into the future, then we kind of miss out on the opportunities that are in our present moment that can be like tools to help us create the future that we want for ourselves or that we are visualizing, right? And I do feel like some downloads or information is coming in for you guys. So Spirit is giving you hints, or is kind of showing you the way of how to get to where you want to be, or how to see the opportunities that are coming your way. But in order for that to happen, in order for you to receive the downloads, for you to, well, not receive them, because I feel you are receiving them nonetheless, but it's more of you getting the messages, understanding them. You need to be a little bit more in your body, more present within yourself, so that you can have that awareness and that focus. And I also got this message of being a little bit more relaxed, going with the flow, taking it easy, not being so stressed out or so worried about how things are going to manifest, how things are working out, because things are working out. And sometimes we don't need to know all the details, the gist and logistics of everything, because like I said, it's already taken care of by universe. So all the information that you have at this moment is the information that is needed at the moment, okay? So you don't need to stress about what you cannot see, because that's not for you to see at this moment. Universe will always deliver you what you need to know for you to move forward. So you are never without, okay? But now we are going to move into the cards. So, these cards over here, I wanted to see what the current energy of the relationship between the masculine and feminine was, and these cards will let us know just that. So we do have snail, patience, and we do have blossom. So we do know that the snails move pretty slowly, but for the snail, their pace is the perfect pace. And so Spirit is letting you know that the pace that you are going currently is perfect. It's not too slow and it's not too fast. For our human awareness, for our 3D self, or for others, maybe your journey seems like it's progressing a little bit slowly. Now, this can be in regards to your manifestations. For those of you looking to come into union with your divine counterpart, this might be the journey that we are speaking about, and things might seem like it's progressing too slowly, but it is not. It is moving at its perfect and organic pace. And that's why I also feel we have blossom here, because things are blossoming, they are flourishing. But we do know that seeds take time to grow, flowers take time to fully bloom, to fully flourish. Yes, things might feel like it's taking its sweet ass time, but there is growth here. Basically, what I'm getting here is don't judge the pace of your journey too harshly. Don't think that because things are moving slowly that they are not moving at all, because there is progress here. There is movement here. Now, I love it how we have like these multicolors here, and then we have all of these colorful flowers here as well. So I'm getting again that kind of like chill and mellow vibe coming from this energy here. So I feel like you guys are slowly starting to go with the flow, or you are learning to be a little bit more patient, and through this patience you are allowing yourself to have fun in the journey. You are allowing yourself to stop and smell the flowers, to enjoy the scenery. So I feel that at this moment both your masculine and feminine energies is learning how to take things slow. Not pressuring themselves too much, not worrying so much about the future, not worrying so much about the timing, but just like going with the flow. And if you feel like you're not in this current state yet, I feel that the way things are unfolding for you in your external reality is to lead you to that state, to teach you to be patient. So if things are moving slowly in terms to your career, your job situation, personal endeavors, it is to teach you patience. It is to teach you to enjoy the moment, to be present. Because as you can see, there's so many beautiful things surrounding you now. So that's why Spirit is kind of slowing things down for you, to give you the space and to give you the time to become centered. And it is only because there is so much that they want you to see and to experience in your current moment. They don't want you to miss out on a single thing of this journey. Because remember, your present moment, the now, is part of the journey, is part of the final destination. It's all a culmination. The final end goal is not the everything. Where you are right now, where you once were before, where you will be in a few days, is part of the everything. So you can't have what you want without having where you are right now. And I feel like for the feminine, I'm looking at the snail as the feminine. Within the self, you are learning to find home and security and comfort within yourself. Because see how like the shell is the one that is coming through with all of these beautiful colors, and I'm seeing them as representing all of the chakras, but also as your essence, your soul. And so, and I don't know why, but if like this snail looks like it's smiling, like it's very happy. So I'm seeing you being happy with, like I said, with where you are right now, and feeling at home within yourself. And it's, I don't know, I got the message of carrying the journey with you. It's having this knowing that where you are right now is perfect, that you are always in alignment, that you are never lost, and that the journey cannot be taken away from you. Your manifestations, whatever it is that you want, that you have been working towards to, cannot be taken away from you because it's part of you. So wherever you are, the journey follows. You yourself are the journey you created. So this magic, this beauty, this vision that you have cannot be taken away from you. It cannot. And for the masculine energy, I'm just mostly seeing it as a grounding and appreciating whatever it is that the masculine is creating. So some of you might be like creators, meaning you create things from scratch. This might be literal art, or this might be ideas. It feels like a manifesting energy, like bringing something to life. And what I see here is that you are connecting more with your creations. You are connecting more with your ideas. It's being proud of what it is that you bring to the table. It's not minimizing it. It's not taking it for granted. It is realizing that this came from you, and it was a co-creation with the universe, and that you made whatever this is happen, or that you are making it happen. I'm also seeing it as community. So being in closer connection with your loved ones or with your community, it just feels like connecting with others and allowing yourself to receive the praise is what I'm getting also with this Blossom card. Allowing yourself to feel beautiful. Like I said, feeling proud of your creations, seeing what you create as beautiful, and in that, as the creator, seeing yourself as beautiful. But definitely I see growth here, I see fruition, I see things progressing, and I see you feeling more comfortable with how things are progressing and unfolding and moving for you. So as the feminine and masculine energy become more accepting of this organic growth or slow moving pace, then I am seeing a beautiful balance in the relationship, because we do have like this garden or flowers here, and then we do have the snail, which we know roams around amongst the flowers. So I am seeing the feminine and masculine coexisting in the same environment, as each one embodies more of this patient energy. And for those of you in a divine counterpart journey, I definitely feel that when the feminine feels more at home within herself, feels safe within herself, within her body, she becomes more present. And I'm saying she because, feminine, but you could embody feminine energy and be male or identify as male. Okay, just to put that out there. But what was I saying? Yes, and when she becomes more present, then so does the masculine. And when both of the masculine and feminine are present, that is when they kind of coexist in the same timeline or in the same energetical space, because I'm seeing this as a light body. And so just know that you are always together spiritually, energetically, you are always together, but you can feel that connection even stronger when you allow yourself to simply be in the present, to find that home within yourself. You are able to feel your counterpart, and your counterpart is able to feel you. And I feel for the masculine energy, they feel the feminine when they themselves are grounded and when they feel connected to the work that they do. When they feel proud of their work, when they feel connected to their work, that's when they are able to ground, and then that's when they feel their feminine more closely, because I feel like their feminine also inspires them and is kind of their motivator. Like they feel the feminine's support, and that in itself inspires them to create more and to be more in tune with their self. But I'm going to look at the back of this card. So we have snail, patience, a champion of patience. Snail teaches us to embrace delay. When she is present in our lives, she reminds us to slow down. She teaches us to be wary of fixed, unrealistic deadlines. In our focus to achieve, life may pass us by. She encourages us to appreciate the minute. Oh my goodness. Life is as much about the big moments as it is about the small ones. A gentle guide with a desire to prevail, Snail provides self-protection. Her spiral represents the origin of life. Yeah. Okay, but now I'm going to move into the other cards. Okay, so now we are going to look into the current state of the feminine energy, and we have the 10 of Arrows, which is the 10 of Swords in the Rider-Waite Tarot. And to clarify, we have the 10 of Swords again, number 30, the Rod, and we have Time. Okay, so with Time, I'm getting once again that energy of patience. I feel like the feminine at this moment is learning about divine timing, learning to be patient with the flow of things, like how we said, how things are progressing and unfolding, because I am seeing this wheel here, and that's reminding me of movement. But sometimes the wheel can turn very slowly, sometimes it can move very quickly, but it's moving nonetheless. Now, the energy of the number 10 represents endings, conclusions. It's the closing of cycles. So I definitely feel like for the feminine energy, there is this ending of a very harsh or difficult cycle. I was getting an overthinking energy at the beginning, and swords does connect with the mental realm, with thoughts as well as communication. And because we do have 10 swords here, twice 20 swords, I do feel like the feminine energy was up in the head a lot. Now, I personally associate the feminine to connect more with the emotional body, because feminine energy is about feelings, emotions, creativity. It's about that vulnerable space. The feminine is more intuitive, whereas the masculine is more logical and practical. So at this moment, I do feel that there is a bit of disconnection with the feminine energy, and it is because the focus is being more centered on the mind. So like I said, being up in your head, overthinking, stressing about things that we cannot control at the moment. And this feeling of having no control is kind of causing so much stress and distress, and it's making us feel, or making you feel like useless is a bit harsh, but it's like a feeling of failure, a feeling of lack. And this does not sit well with the feminine. The feminine triumphs in that empowering energy, in the going with the flow, in knowing that things are unfolding as they are meant to, and that all is in perfect order, and that everything is meant to come into play in its divine timing. So when we are not in that flow, when we are not allowing ourselves to simply be relaxed in the knowing that everything is working itself out, then we kind of disconnect from that feminine energy. And with this rod here, I'm seeing this energy of beating yourself up over things that, again, you cannot control. So timing is something that we cannot control. When things come in or when things leave is sometimes something that we cannot control. And so Spirit is just letting you know there is no need to beat yourself up over this. Let go of what you cannot control and let us handle it. We'll take care of it. And again, if things are not moving in the pace that you want to, it's not because you're doing anything wrong. It has nothing to do with your action or your inaction. It has everything to do with the process of the situation or the thing itself. Now, I actually wanted to pull out some key terms and wanted to see what chakra the feminine and the masculine needed working on. So this might be a chakra that's a little bit blocked at this moment. And I wanted to pull them like on camera for you guys, but as I was pulling out the cards, I got a little bit too excited, so I already pulled them out. So we do have patience and we have practice, and I'm noticing that these are words that both start with the letter P. So the letter P might be significant for you guys. Maybe your name starts with the letter P, or whatever you're waiting for might start with the letter P. So maybe you're waiting for a call back from a company that starts with the letter P, or maybe you're waiting to come into union with someone whose name starts with the letter P, or nickname. So take it how it resonates. Then for the chakra, the heart chakra fell out for you guys. The heart chakra is all about trust, right? It's having trust in oneself, feeling also comfortable and secure within the self. And when we are able to trust ourselves, we are able to trust the universe. And when we are able to trust the universe, we are able to trust in the magic of divine timing. And so for you guys, I definitely feel like this is about trusting. Like I already repeated several times, it's about trusting in the unfoldment of things, trusting that everything is in divine order, that you are not doing anything wrong, and you cannot do anything wrong to divert you from your path, or to ruin your manifestation, or to block your manifestation in any way. Now, I am also noticing this color yellow here, and looking at this wheel of arrows is reminding me of an energy center. So we do have the heart chakra, but I'm also feeling this need to connect with the solar plexus. And it's funny because actually the solar plexus connects with masculine energy. The solar plexus is all about confidence, and it's about the self, knowing the self. It's about your self-worth. So there is this need to start building confidence in yourself and at the pace that you are going and at the pace that things are moving for you. We do have the keywords patience and practice. And I simply see this as kind of very straightforward. Practice patience. There is a need for the feminine to practice patience, especially for manifestations. Because this is an energy of instruction, and it's sort of like maybe you guys are learning something. Maybe you guys are learning how to manifest. Maybe you are learning a new language. Maybe you are learning a new skill, and you feel pretty frustrated about your progress. You feel like you should be at a certain level by this point, and you feel that you aren't there yet, and that frustrates you, that kind of disappoints you, that discourages you. But Spirit is letting you know, hey, don't be so hard on yourself, because you are moving at your perfect pace. That's why we had the snail representing the feminine energy here. We all move and progress at different paces. And when we start comparing ourselves to others or other people's journey, we can really affect ourselves, because that is their journey. Whether they move fast or slow, it has nothing to do with us, because their journey was designed specifically for them. Your journey is designed specifically for you. And so if you start comparing, you are kind of invalidating your journey and causing more stress and worry where there shouldn't be any. Because with this time, I'm seeing that your skills will develop in the right time. Your talents, your gifts will manifest in the perfect timing, when you need them the most. When they are meant to shine, they will shine. And it's sort of like being at the right place at the right time. And so if you were to go at the pace of somebody else, it wouldn't work for your journey. It wouldn't work for how you have mapped things out for yourself, because we as souls, we map our journey before we incarnate. So we know when things are going to unfold. We know when the perfect timing is. So that's why for you, it's just moving at the way that it is currently moving, because your higher self knows when it is best to bring you to the spotlight, when it is best to present your manifestations to you, when it is best to present the right opportunities to you. But with this 10 of arrows, I'm definitely seeing that you guys are learning, you guys are progressing, you guys are making major improvements. You have made major improvements. It is time to see those improvements for what they are and to applaud yourself for them. And patience is the greatest virtue that you can have. It's the greatest skill that you can have. And you are building that skill through this journey. I feel like learning patience is kind of allowing you guys to release a lot of pent-up stress, anger, and emotion. And you being frustrated is allowing yourself to kind of feel into your emotions, to kind of pull that anger that maybe you suppressed in regards to other things, and it's allowing you to release it. And that's what I'm also getting with the Sands of Times. It's kind of like emptying yourself out so that you can begin anew. And having the full moon here, I feel like it's for the feminine, it's kind of will be very helpful to connect with full moon energy. The full moon helps us a lot with detoxification, with releasing the old or releasing heavy energy. So I feel like working with the full moon will help a lot to kind of unblock the solar plexus and to clear out the heart chakra. Because with the heart chakra, I'm also getting like a lot of pent-up emotions and feelings, and I feel like that is causing a lot of heaviness within. And so clearing out that heart chakra will also help bring a lot of clarity in. And again, it's just feeling okay with where you are currently, and trusting that you are in the right place, and that yes, nothing will be taken away from you. Not because you are the snail and not the hare doesn't mean that you're not going to win the race. You are going to win the race. You are going to get to the finish line. Your prize will always be there and will have your name on it, okay? You're not competing against anybody, basically, is what I'm trying to say. You will always end up being the winner. So allow yourself to enjoy the journey. Okay, but now I'm going to move into the masculine energy. And we have 8 of Stones skills, which is the 8 of Pentacles. And to clarify, we have the Queen of Cups, number 23, the Ring, as well as the Lovers. Okay, so I'm so sorry, you guys, if you hear banging noises. My neighbors are always doing something, and I can never really figure out when is the best time to record because they're always out and about. Okay, but anyways, with the 8 of Pentacles, this is a working energy. Whenever this card comes out, I always get the vibe of a workaholic. This talks about concentration, it's about ambition, it's about working diligently and perseverantly on something because you believe in its potential, because you believe in what it is that you do. And I was connecting this Blossom card with that masculine energy. Like I said, you guys might be creators. You might literally create things from scratch, work with your hands, or I feel also like ingenuitive. You might simply give ideas. Like, let's say if you work at a company, you are the one who provides new ideas, who is always thinking about new projects, and that is sort of your skill. So I feel like the masculine energy is kind of overworking itself at this moment, because I do get kind of like this hermit energy. We have the man working here inside the cave. Only the light of the candles illuminates him. So having this disconnection with the feminine, I feel it's all the attention or focus is being put on the masculine at this moment. So like I said, some of you might be working on a project diligently, or might be working on a vision, and you are wanting to make this vision a reality. You're working on making it a reality. And so all of the responsibility, I would like to say, is kind of being put on the masculine. Because like I said, the masculine is practical. The feminine visualizes and imagines, and the masculine works in order to make it a reality. So I do feel like Spirit is asking you to kind of be a little less harsh on the masculine. So be a little less harsh on yourself. Don't put so much pressure on yourself to do things perfectly, to be at the top, to be perfect, because that is putting a certain expectations on yourself that can be quite detrimental. Because yes, you are spirit living a human experience, but at the end of the day, you are human. You are bound to make some mistakes. You are bound to need some rest at some point, and making yourself believe that you need to be this superhero, or that you need to be this machine, or that you need to be this idea of perfection is very unrealistic. And when we put ourselves to those super high unrealistic expectations, we kind of set ourselves up for failure in a way. I just want you to know, if you are working on something, whatever it is that you are working on, this will bring you success, and it's whatever success means to you. With this hand, I always see it as leaving a mark. What you are creating will leave a positive mark or impact, or what you're creating will kind of like denote your style. So like your art style, or it's like your signature in a way. Like people will recognize this as being from you. Like you're making your brand in a way. And because we do have the ring here, some of you might be like jewelry makers, or I feel like making something with your hands, and it's going to give fruit to you. It's going to be quite popular. It's going to be well received. But when you get that success, when you get that recognition, I feel like you might fall into this tendency of needing to do better, needing to surpass yourself. It's almost like if you're not competing against someone else, you're competing to the past version of you. And so it's like you guys are kind of enslaving yourself in a way, kind of like putting yourself on the rat race without it being a need to do so. So with this Eight of Pentacles, I definitely feel like Spirit is simply wanting you to be a little bit more gentle with your masculine energy and to come out of the cave every once in a while, because I feel like you guys are spending most of your time at work or working on something. If you are not already this workaholic, you're kind of building yourself up to become a workaholic, and Spirit is kind of wanting you to come out and see the light, to enjoy the flowers, to walk on the grass, on the ground, barefoot, connect with Mother Earth, with Mother Gaia, to take in the sun, get that vitamin D, and enjoy other aspects of your life. With this Lovers, I'm definitely seeing like an energy of relationships, and it doesn't have to be romantic, but it's just like connecting more with your loved ones, connecting with your relationships. And that's the message I got from Blossom. And then we do have the Queen of Cups here, and the Queen of Cups is feminine energy. It's a gentle, nurturing energy. The Queen of Cups also represents someone who is highly psychic, highly intuitive, empathic, and compassionate. And I feel like this is who the masculine needs at this moment. The masculine needs somebody who is empathetic and compassionate, who can see the masculine for who they truly are and not for what they create or what they do. You guys need to see yourself for you and not for what you can bring to the table. Your worth is not denoted by what you create or what you do. That's just like extra, like that's more like a gift or a talent, but it doesn't represent who you are. So if you are talented at something, let's say you are an amazing musician or an amazing songwriter, you are not only the musician, you are not only the artist, you are more, right? That's only a part of you, but that's not the whole of you. And that's what I'm also getting with the Lovers, because it talks about duality. And so it's seeing all aspects of yourself, not just the one, but seeing all of you and embracing all of you. Because I feel like with this Eight of Pentacles, it's like you guys are kind of leaning into the work or the skill or the talent that you possess, because that's where you feel you shine. And so you lean into that because that's where you guys feel good in a way, because that's where you see your value. It might even be because this is how you feel you can give back to your loved ones, but that's not the truth. Like, yes, you are talented, yes, you are skillful, yes, whatever you create might bring a lot of joy to people, but you are the source. It's you, it's your heart, it's your soul, it's your mind, it's all of you. So come out of the cave. Come out of the cave, because your loved ones want to connect with you. They don't want an intermediate. They want to connect with you. We do have the ring here, which represents commitment. And basically right now I'm seeing you being committed to this project, committed to your work. And I feel like Spirit is just letting you know, like, yes, your commitment will pay off. It will pay off. But, there's other commitments as well. And it's time to kind of find balance with that, finding balance with work life and personal life, and realizing that this work that you do can bring you only so much happiness and joy, and it's basically short-lived, and the connections that you form are the ones that can give you more long-lasting, long-term fulfillment than material things or possessions or successes or like goals or achievement. So this is seeing the value and the importance of your connections in your relationships. And I usually do see this, lovers, as interpreting like divine connections, because we have the sun here who has an eye, and I'm seeing that as the all-knowing, all-seeing eye of the universe. And then we do have two people, so I'm seeing this as the universe bringing the counterparts together. And I'm basically seeing this as like bringing both the masculine and feminine energies together, bringing them closer together, bringing them into union. And like I was saying, I was already feeling a sense of balance here. And it's because you guys are kind of learning each one what you guys need to learn. So for the feminine, it's patient. And actually, the Eight of Pentacles also speaks about patience, because you need to be patient in order to build a skill, in order to perfect something. And the Eight of Stones is a very perfectionist kind of energy. So I definitely feel like the masculine has mastered that patience through their work, through what they do, having the patience to learn something, having the patience to create something. But the feminine, it's like, doesn't have the patience for the results. Wants to see results quicker, wants to see progress quicker. Does that make sense? But I did pull out some keywords for the masculine, and we do have forgive, divine, healing, ask, and then we have the root chakra. So the root chakra does speak about grounding, which was what we were getting with the blossom card. We do have forgive here. I feel like this is an energy of forgiving, of the masculine, kind of forgiving the self, or forgiving others for putting so much pressure on them or putting so much expectations on them. Because I feel like the masculine is overworking themselves because of certain expectations. And the masculine feels very loving and caring here, because I feel like they want to make their loved ones happy. They want to make others proud. And so that's why they, pull these all-nighters. That's why they kind of wear themselves thin, working so hard to achieve success or to meet the expectations. And this is about forgiving for putting that load on the masculine. We do have healing here, and I feel like this healing has to do in terms to the relationship with work, to the relationship with self-worth through the work. It's not hiding behind the work anymore or behind the hobby to not do the healing. That can also be it. It's finally coming out of the cave and seeing what needs to be worked on, what relationships need to be mended or need to be like given more a little bit energy and attention to. It's kind of coming out of the cave to see the reality, to see your entire life and not just be invested into one aspect of your life. With divine, I'm getting like that divine timing, and I feel like whatever work you are doing is divine, right? You are so invested in it. Not only because of the expectations put on you by others or by yourself, but it's also because you feel like this has a purpose, like this has a divine purpose, and that's why you're also investing so much energy into it. And Spirit wants to let you know, like, they know that you will be able to accomplish whatever it is that you need to accomplish. They know that you can handle this, but they don't want you to kind of like drown yourself in this. They also want you to live your life, experience relationships, experience love, and experience other forms of commitment as well. So for this group, I'm definitely seeing a need to look into the relationship with your work. Even if this is not like work or a project, this might even be how much time you're spending on your healing journey. I know we often say that the healing journey isn't linear, and that basically for our entire lifetime there will always be something to heal. But sometimes we can get a little bit obsessed about healing ourselves, or kind of get stuck in this always needing healing mentality. Like we're never healed. And that idea of feeling like you aren't healed can sometimes lead one to believing that they are broken. You are not broken. The healing journey is about getting to know more of yourself. And as we get to know more of ourselves, we get to discover like wounds or traumas or things that might not be so pleasant because society hasn't made it so pleasant. Like it could be like taboo things, and it becomes taboo because society has taught us to see it as taboo, and so we have to like heal through many things. But this doesn't mean that you are broken. It doesn't mean that you are imperfect and that your job is to reach perfection. It's not about that. Like, this is simply about discovering more of who you are, seeing that duality and integrating all aspects of yourself. And the healing is about being gentle and compassionate with self. It's not about judging the self and seeing it as broken or imperfect. And so sometimes we can get so caught up in this healing journey that we detach ourselves from relationships because we feel that's something that we need to do. And that's not always the case. Connections help with the healing. Relationships help us heal. Love is what heals. So do not deprive yourself of that. Because the root chakra talks about safety and security. It's okay to find safety in relationships, to find that safety in others when you need it. It's okay to lean on others. It is perfectly okay. You don't need to seclude yourself or distance yourself from your connections in order to achieve healing. You don't. Healing can be done while you're in connections with others. And so see how much time you are spending doing this one thing that you are kind of like disregarding other aspects of your life. Because that in itself might be causing more stress, might be causing you to feel a little bit more lonesome or anxious, or feel frustrated for not being where you feel you should be. Because you're then not living your journey to the fullest because you're more preoccupied or like hyper aware of this one thing than seeing all that is around you at this moment. It's okay to take a break from the healing, It's okay to be okay. It's okay to be okay. It's okay to be okay. It's okay to be okay with where you are right now. That doesn't mean that you're procrastinating. That doesn't mean that you're not growing. Okay, but now I'm going to pull out the last card, which will kind of give us some advice or guidance on how to bring these two energies into union or bring them into balance. And we have, I believe it's pronounced Vasily Kandinsky, transcend systems to find spirit. Hear music through sight. Begin with a dot. So transcend systems to find spirit is kind of like pulling me back to this kind of workaholic energy. How much time and energy and focus you are giving to work, to business, to a system. If you feel like there is an imbalance between, again, your personal spiritual life versus your work life, then it's time to bring that balance. It's time to pull back from the work life a little bit and give more time and energy to that your spiritual life or your personal life, because this will help you be more at ease. And also, like, the systems is also reminding me of how fast you think something should be progressing, because it is the system itself that has taught us to always be on the go, for things to always be moving fast and quick. And if it isn't, it means that there's slack. But that's not the case. That's not truth. Because as we can see with nature takes its sweet as time, and the results are always beautiful, magical, and majestic. So nature knows what it's doing. It's been doing it for eons. And the system is fairly new. And it's not perfect. So this is about transcending those systems, those ideas, that mentality, those beliefs that make us feel in lack, that make us feel down, that put us down. Because if it's causing you to feel down about yourself, then there's something wrong there. With this eye keeps pulling my attention. I'm just seeing having better clarity, having better vision. Seeing things for what they truly are, seeing what's around you. And so I feel like transcending these systems here, systems in general, will help the masculine and the feminine see each other. Because as we transcend this system of like belief of time, I feel like the feminine can also be a bit more compassionate with the masculine. You know, because the masculine is putting so much work into something, but maybe the feminine's impatience is making the masculine feel like they're not progressing or they're not doing good enough. And so there's like a bit of like friction here. And so when the feminine lets go of this idea of time, the progress of things, how fast things should be, then she can be more compassionate with the masculine energy. And in that, the masculine energy can ease up a bit, can feel a little bit more good about the progress that they're doing. And this is like within yourself as well. Like if you can be more compassionate with yourself at the pace that you are going, you allow yourself to be less harsh with yourself, be more at ease with where you are right now. With begin with the dot, it's the same thing. It's like that patient, slow moving energy. You have to begin somewhere. You guys are building your foundations. And just because you are at the beginning now doesn't mean that you will never get to that end. Doesn't mean that you're not creating something or that you will be creating something. Hear music through sight. I actually will leave that up for you guys for interpretation. Yes, but I feel that those are all the messages I have for this group. I do feel like there is a coming into balance. These are just like some of the things I need a little bit working on to kind of bring these two energies more into harmony with one another. But I feel like these two energies are pretty much already kind of in the same frequency. Oh, and with this ask, I feel like this is about the masculine allowing itself to be a little bit more vulnerable and ask for help and assistance when it needs to. The masculine doesn't have to feel like that they are meant to be like indestructible or this superhuman. They can allow themselves to simply be human. That is okay. It's time to start putting so much expectations on the masculine, on yourself, okay? It's okay to ask for help. It's okay to need help. Yes, but I do feel like that is all the messages I have for this group. I hope you enjoyed this reading. I hope it brought some guidance, some clarity. If it did, then please leave a like or a comment. And if you want to stick around for more readings with me, Kim, then please do subscribe. I do offer personal readings. All the information is in my website, and the link to my website can be found in the description box down below. Okay, so thank you so much for watching, and until the next moment, bye bye.